All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric, and welcome to tonight's information session from Neotech Academy. Before we went on the air, I was asking everyone as they were logging in a question. So if you're, watching a recording here, but the question I have for everybody was describe your dream job. It really wasn't a question, I guess. It was just a statement, and a request, if you will. Describe what your dream job would look like. And I got some great answers there. Feeling valued, that's a big one. A true work-life balance. A lot of companies talk about work-life balance, but they don't really give it to you. Flexibility. We also saw working from home, which, is definitely a part of being flexible. But I think what it all boiled down to really was freedom. And we're going to talk about that tonight, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to talk about all those things that you just mentioned earlier to me, guys, but also freedom. So here's what we're going to accomplish tonight. We're going to give you some background on who Neotech is. We'll give you some information about the IT industry and what really is our life-changing boot camp. And I think you'll see why I point out that it's a life-changing boot camp a little bit later. We're also going to bring on a couple of our graduates who will tell you about their experience, and they'll be taking your questions. So just keep that in mind. You'll be able to ask them questions as well to find out what their experience actually was. So tonight, folks, this is going to be action-packed and fun-filled. This is going to last probably about an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm just going to, I just want to set your expectations. So here's what I need from you. I need you to type into the chat either the word yes or just type the letter Y. I'll know what you mean, just as your commitment to being here for the next hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to wait for a few responses. Right away, I see Mohammed with a yes. Iman with a yes. Syed with a yes. Amal, appreciate that, guys. That's your commitment to being here for the next hour and 15 minutes to get all your questions answered. We structure this very logically, our presentation. So we already know the questions that people are going to be asking. And so we just go step by step by step. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes, including your questions, to really get through everything. All right. Now, just so we're clear, guys, you are not necessarily making any type of financial commitment today. We're just giving you some information. However, we do have, just to prepare you, we do have a special offer for those of you who like what you see, you like what you hear, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so we will get into the tuition and the money back guarantee. We'll walk through exactly how that works at the end. And again, the reason why is because we have to do this logically and in order. Because, if I just start throwing out prices, tuition, without any context as to, what's included at that price, it won't make any sense to you. I always say it's like searching for a house by the price, and that's all. But you have to know more than just the price of the house. You have to know, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many, what size lot is it? What neighborhood is it in? All that good stuff. So you need that to determine value. I will say this, though. I will say this. This is, I believe, the least, it's the least expensive, most risk-free way to begin an in-demand career that you'll probably ever see. And I really do mean that, and I think you'll see that as we move along here. All right. So some of the fastest growing occupations as we get into this, guys, some of the fastest growing occupations are in IT. For the next generation, everything is going to be tech related. Jobs are available in almost, well, really in every major city, but remote is available as well, which is something that a lot of you said that you had an interest in, having, flexibility, being able to work from home. Now, it's not a guarantee, getting a remote job offer, because some companies, since we have come out of the pandemic, have asked people to come back to the office, but remote is still available. Some companies allow for hybrid type roles, working from home and then, coming into the office maybe at some point during the week. I will say this, if you are required to, go into an office, you probably have seen videos like this, maybe even social media, where IT companies people that work for those companies will show you like a day in their life, and they walk you through their campus or whatever, and you'll see some pretty cool work environments in most cases. Many of them offer free lunches. except if it's X, Twitter, no more free lunches, I guess they get, right? But everybody else, a lot of the other companies still give that. Gym memberships, in some cases, generous vacation time, of course, the higher compensation, 401k, bonuses, insurance. IT careers really do check all the boxes for most people. Now, during the height of COVID, when many parts of the world were shut down, think about this. The IT industry really thrived because there are already a multitude of remote jobs out there, and COVID only increased those opportunities. So I will say this, for lack of a better way of putting it, the one silver lining, or one of the few silver linings to COVID, was that it taught many people two things. It taught you that I think that tomorrow's not a guarantee. How many of you would agree with that? And it made people realize that they've got to have a plan B. And a career in IT has become and will continue to become that plan B and even a plan A for many thousands of people around the world. Few things I want to address here right at the beginning, and I will say this a couple of times throughout our presentation tonight. It doesn't matter what your background is. But let's get this out of the way right here at the beginning. People always want to know these four major things: language, background, education, age. First of all, don't worry if you are a recent immigrant and your English is not all that great. That is inconsequential. What employers care about is, can you do the job? We're going to teach you how to do it. We'll give you real projects to put on your resume. We'll help you with job placement. We'll talk more about that later, okay? Don't worry about what your background is. I don't care if you are a valet at a restaurant or a hotel. I don't care if you're a bartender. I don't care if maybe you had a white collar job. I'm noticing we're seeing, whenever I ask this question, you're like, what career are you in right now that you're looking to make a change from, and to go into IT? Recently, I'm seeing a lot of people in the healthcare industry as well as the teaching profession. But I'll ask for you guys to type it into the chat in just a second, what your backgrounds are, because I'm curious about that. Education. People always ask us, what about my education? I don't have a degree in computer science, or maybe you've got a degree, but it's not in IT. Don't worry about that. Again, what employers care about is, can you do the job? I've gotten this question also a number of times. What about my age? Does my age matter? You might be in your 40s, your 50s, even your 60s, and you're thinking about changing careers or maybe getting back in the workforce. That doesn't matter either. So again, what the employers care about is, can you do the job? Can you do the job that we will wind up training you to do? And we'll talk about how we do that in just a second, okay? But if you would, guys, go ahead and type in the chat, what career are you in? What's your profession right now? And, like, where are you looking to come from to get into potentially a career in IT? I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds here for a few responses. Geological engineer. Aguzin says he's geological engineer. Emra is a translator from Russian, English, and Turkish. Jules, manual software QA already, searching for a contract. Okay, I got you. Layla's a waitress. Chris is in the cannabis industry. Yeah, that's really been growing, hasn't it? Tolant is an Uber driver. Mohammed, mechanical engineer. Irma, mortgage industry. Syed says, barely a graduate from high school. That's okay. Thais, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You're a chiropractor in your country. Awesome. Finance and accounting, electrical engineer, dental manager, au pair, on and on and on. Guys, again, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It all depends on really where you're looking to go in the future. Now, what exactly is a software tester? And keep typing it in the chat, guys. I'm going to check that out a little bit later. Appreciate you participating. You probably have seen this advertised, software testing. What is it really all about? Let's talk about this, okay? So you have hopefully a pretty good understanding of, or at least a general overview of what software testing is. Now, what will you actually be doing as let's say, a quality assurance engineer, as a software tester? This is a very rhetorical question, but I'll ask this question anyway. How many of you have ever used TikTok or Uber or Instagram, Facebook? You don't have to type in the chat. I know pretty much everybody here has, right? Here's my point. When it comes to software testing, that's what you bring to the table with you. You've used technology. you know that when you use the app, it works, right? You go to the Amazon app, you look to buy something, it works. You go to a message board, it's on an app, you type in, you post something, it works, right? That's what you bring to the table. So we're going to give you some technical expertise, some hands-on expertise, if you will, on top of what you already know. Put it all together, and you'll learn with our help how to do software testing. Now, a software tester's job, guys, is vitally important because you are charged with making sure the software functions properly and is free of defects. So think about it like this. If you're the company, you don't want to launch a flawed product and get killed with bad reviews. That makes sense, doesn't it? So think of all the money that would cost. That's where you come in to help prevent that. So your job is to help find all the defects, all the bugs before the public does. So now what is a bug? What is a defect? Well, it could be anything from, maybe the color, the background color was done incorrectly, by the developer. Maybe there's a typo, or it could be something really big. Like every time you try to use the program, it crashes. It can be anywhere in that range. So what QA does, quality assurance, what a software tester does is, again, your job is to find those errors, find those problems before the customers do. Now, how will you know what to look for? You'll be given a list of what we call requirements. Now, here's the good news. It's not your job to fix the problem. It's your job to simply find the bug, and then you let the developer know. The developer actually will go in there and fix the problem. That's good news, isn't it? So your job is simply to find the bug or to find the defect before the customer does. Guys, does that make any kind of sense to you? You're testing the product before it gets to the public. That's what a software tester does. The salaries are higher than the national average. Most major tech companies are seeking software testers. It's a great way to begin your IT career. And again, we'll teach you everything you need to know. So here's what we did. We created a boot camp. Now, think about the term boot camp for a second. A number of you are from abroad. You're from outside the US. And I know from my travels all around the world that when I've gone to a lot of different countries, military service winds up being compulsory. Like you've got to serve in the military for like a couple of years. I did, in my country. So you probably have heard this term or a variation of it called boot camp. Now, in a boot camp, what happens? You learn in a very short amount of time how to do all these different things. It's like a whole bunch of stuff is just thrown at you, right? The bullets are flying over your head so that when you're in a real combat situation, you'll know it'll be second nature to you. You know exactly how to react. So when we say we have a boot camp, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you in 6 months what it would take most people in the IT industry years to actually learn. Okay. Now I want you to keep in mind, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people in the IT industry, in particular software testing, are not actually college graduates. It's not a requirement in many cases. Employers just want to know if you can do the job. I have a friend who had nothing to do with IT. And this is a long time ago. He took a boot camp and he started working from home, making all kinds of money because all the employer cared about was, could he actually do the job? Okay. So right now, think about it like this. Right now, you have no experience at all. So imagine going through the boot camp. Imagine where you could be 6 months after the boot camp has started, having all this actual real world experience that you'll be able to put on your CV, on your resume. So again, imagine where you are now and think of where you'll be at the end of the boot camp. So the training is provided via Zoom. You can interact with your instructors in real time. It's super convenient. You can attend live or you can watch the replays. Guys, we really do have a proven process. You'll hear from a couple of our graduates in just a few seconds, just a few minutes, which the process enables you to become competent and proficient in the IT field. We also offer, and I'll talk about this at the end, a money-back guarantee. So this entire process is essentially risk-free for you. Okay. So you take the boot camp and that can lead into career paths after graduation, such as software development, engineer and test, or SDET, we call that simply for short. maybe QA engineer, software tester, test lead, quality analyst, but it all starts with the boot camp. Now, Course Report, some of you may have heard of them. They're a leading authority on IT education. Now, last year, they rated our QA testing bootcamp the best in 2023. So again, guys, I want you to do this. You may have noticed this at the beginning where it was the date, April 21st. Write this down. Write down April 21st. April 21st. I usually have you do that at the beginning. I didn't do that this time. Sorry about that. But write it down now if you would. And we'll mention this a few times further. But write down April 21st. That's going to be our next boot camp, the start of our 6-month accelerated course where you get real experience on real projects. So the bottom line is, after you finish the accelerated course, you then segue into a career. And guys, we can help you find the job. You know, we also offer a career placement. So we're going to help you hold your hand along the way and do everything we can to make you as successful as possible. Where the salary range, generally speaking, is between 80 and 130,000. And you can go to Indeed, you can go to Glassdoor, you can go to LinkedIn, and you can verify these salary ranges where you live. I encourage you to do that after we're done. So after starting your career as a software tester, because you will be exposed to so many tools and languages throughout our program, you can then use your new career as a software tester as a springboard into other career paths, such as software developer and software development engineer and test, project manager, API tester, Scrum Master. No, that's not a rugby term. Now, some of you are probably looking at these and you're thinking, I have no idea what a Scrum Master is. What in the world is ETL tester? Guys, don't worry about that. You will learn all of these things. I always liken it to, you know, when you were in school, when you were in high school, maybe you took calculus. How'd you feel the first semester in calculus? I'll tell you how I felt. I felt lost. But you know what? When you got to that second semester, how did you feel about things that you learned, you know, that first semester? By the second semester, you had it down. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry if you don't know anything about software testing right now or the IT industry. You're going to learn all of those things. And we teach everything in a hands-on fashion because studies have shown that when you learn things in this experiential atmosphere, which is more hands-on, you have a greater chance of actually retaining the information and just really accelerating your learning curve. Or really, I should say, you know, probably a better way of putting it is shortening that learning curve because when you are taught something more hands-on, you really get it, is my point. Does that make sense, guys? That's kind of a quick little overview. What I want to do is introduce one of our founders of Neotech Academy and lead instructor, Elian. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself and then go into more detail about what our boot camp actually entails. So, Elian, you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Eric. So let me share my screen. By the way, can you see my screen? Let's see there. Okay, perfect. So my name is Elion, and I'm the lead instructor here at Neotech Academy. I'm gonna explain you a little bit about the course. What are the flow, right? What are the things that we're teaching? And then I'm gonna also go over the tools and also over the schedule that we have here at Neotech. And then after that, I'm gonna invite a couple of alumni so that they'll share their experience with you. And then of course you'll be able to ask your questions to them about their let's say their experience during Neotech, during the bootcamp, after the bootcamp, when they were looking for a job, and now that they've been working as a software tester for some, I don't know, a couple of years right now. So as I said, my name is Elion, and I've been working as a software developer for 20 years right now. And of course, we've been teaching here at Neotech for 4 years now. And I'm gonna start with explaining what is the flow of our course. So at the beginning, right? So as we said, our bootcamp is concentrated on teaching you whatever a QA tester needs. So because if you teach you everything that is in the IT industry, there will be a lot of things, and it will take maybe years, like a like a college, it takes 4 years because it needs you to teach everything. But the bootcamp is concentrated only on those tools and only on those skills that are needed from you to land a job as a software tester. So we explain to you what is manual testing. So you learn about what is testing. So of course, like we are explaining here in the info session, but of course during the bootcamp we explain that how a manual testing is done, right? So what are you supposed to test? So let me take you as an example. Let us suppose that you're doing, let's say your company is Facebook, right? And they have their web application, which is facebook.com. And of course, it's also on the phone and also on the web and everywhere. So you as a software tester are supposed to check the quality to see if everything is working as expected from the company. So if a user is logging in, they're supposed to see their let's say their profile, right? And then after they start sharing stuff, their friends will be there seeing their stuff, they will like it, right? And stuff like that. So as a manual tester, you need to know, right? You need to know, let's say you're trying to click here and click there and try to do some things manually by using your mouse, your keyboard, right? So no automation skills, no coding skills are needed from you. And that's the, let's say that's the first part of the bootcamp. And only with those skills, of course, you can find a job as a manual tester. But of course, not many jobs as of right now require only the manual testing skills. That's why we also want you to learn about coding, programming, right? Or writing some code, some scripts. So by learning that part here, you are learning the automation part of the testing, right? So as a software programming, right, we're going to teach you Java. Java is one of the strongest programming languages. It is very commonly used in a lot of companies. And by the way, even if you go to a company and they're not using Java, but using a different programming language, it doesn't matter because the companies, they need to know that you have those testing skills and those automation skills. You can learn new tools easily as long as you know one of them, okay? And then this is the right, let's say the core part of our bootcamp. After that, you learn about automation testing. So you learn about the programming language so that you got the skills, and then you learn how to do those testing that you were doing manually at the beginning. You learn how to do them by automation, how to do them with a programming language, so that you're writing your code and your code is testing the software. Why do you do it this way? Because let us suppose that you have, as I said, like let's say facebook.com, and you're writing some scripts. Those scripts are testing the part of the software to make sure that it's working fine. Later on, your company is making an update. So you want to test the old parts of the software and also the new thing that is introduced, right? Introduced to the application. So that's why, right, you don't want to go back and test everything from scratch and then also test the new parts, but you already have the code for the old part. You only are writing the code, the script to test the new module that was introduced or the new update that was introduced in the software. So with this part here, guys, you can work as front-end tester. So when we say front-end, these are a little bit of technical terminologies, but of course, right, as I said, we're going to teach all of these things during the bootcamp. So front-end means the part that the users are seeing, right? So they see that you have friends there. They see that in the, I'm taking the facebook.com, let's say, web application. So you're sharing something and your friends will see it. They will comment there, they'll like there, and they're doing different stuff there, right? So this is the front part. So after you're done with this part here, guys, these three steps, you can go to the companies and you can apply as front-end tester, right? But of course, we don't stop there because there are also other skills that are required. So also back-end test. The back-end part is the part where, let's say, when you're talking about a software, you're writing your, let's say, a web application. And in the web application is the part that the users are seeing, but it's also the back part, the part that the user are not seeing. So all these data are stored somewhere. So you're sharing something. Somebody's commenting there. Somebody's liking or disliking, or I don't know, loving your picture or your sharing. So all this information is stored somewhere, which is called the database. So we're going to teach you how to, first of all, what is database and how to test database. And also API is the communication between the front end and the back end. So you're going to learn also this part here. So after you learn this part, you can apply as manual tester. You can apply as front end tester. You can apply as back end tester. And if you know both back end and front end, you are also considered as full stack tester. So you are exposed to a lot of job openings there. Okay. So this is the technical part of our bootcamp, right? So coding and testing and front end and back end and those stuff there. But of course, during our bootcamp, we also teach you soft skills, because this is a very important part. There are a lot of people who have these technical skills, but they don't know how to prepare the resume. They don't know how to talk to the interviews. They don't know how to apply to jobs. So during the bootcamp, right, every once a week, we're teaching you this, right, what are the meetings that are done in the, because when you go to applying to the companies, they're asking you about your previous experience, and you're going to tell that I already know this, let's say, tools, I know these skills, and you're going to tell them that you have the experience during this time, and you are prepared for it, because you will, right, you will tell about what are the Scrum methodology, right? What are the meetings that are done? Once a week you have a meeting, every day you have a meeting. So these meetings, they have names. So I don't want to mention everything today, because I'm going to overwhelm you with technical information, but we're going to teach those things to you during the bootcamp, so that you are preparing yourself for the, right, for this, for as a software tester to apply to the jobs. At the end, guys, even after we're done with the bootcamp, we're going to help you to apply for the jobs. We're going to help you, right, with, let's say, when you're talking to the recruiter, sometimes they want you to share some information. Are they, right, are you supposed to share your green card or your passport or your social security numbers with them? So those are technical, right, not technical questions, but the soft skill parts, right, the other part of the bootcamp that still we teach to you, because we want you to land the job. And of course, we're going to talk about it, because also we split the, right, the price of the bootcamp in two parts. One is the part, the tuition part, which we're teaching these things, and the second part is after you find a job, we get the second part of the payment from there, and we're going to come to that slide. So these are the tools that we teach to you guys, and even though they look a lot of tools here and a lot of things, don't worry, guys, don't get scared, because you're going to learn these tools one by one. I mentioned this name, maybe you heard about Java. Java, as I said, is our programming language. We're going to spend first 3 months with teaching you Java, right? What is coding? So you start from zero. The first day we see the students, they don't even know how to, I don't know how to print hello world in the console, right? Which is very basic. But after 3 months, they are at the stage that they know a lot of things, right? They know a lot of information. They know how to write their code, and they are, right, they are very strong in Java knowledge, right? After you learn about Java, then you learn about Selenium. This is the second important tool. Selenium is a tool which allows you to interact with the browser, to send you commands to the Google Chrome or Safari or Firefox, whatever browser you're using, or Internet Explorer, and you are able to open the browser, to log into facebook.com and to do some stuff there. And I am very happy when I see students, when they learn about Selenium at the first days, they feel like hackers, because they're trying to, right, they're doing funny stuff there, right? But of course, the purpose is not to have fun, but the purpose is to learn those tools. And then after this part, right, we teach you what is Jira, right? What is Jira? Jira is a tool which is a project management tool, right? Which is used in most of the companies, how to share the task between the employees, right? So there are a lot of employees, a lot of people in the same team. You need to split the task between you, and to make sure that, right, your project manager needs to make sure that you have finished whatever you're supposed to do, and that is Jira. And then you're going to learn about MySQL, which is, as I talked about, database, right? So what is database? And we teach them with MySQL. Postman, or also this one here, rest assured, these are the tools that are used for API testing. You're going to learn about TestNG and Cucumber, which are 2 test automation tools. You're going to learn about Git, which is when you are, let's say, writing your code and sharing your code with your teammates, right? You're using this tool. So these are different tools that you're going to learn one by one, so that at the end of the 6 months, you're going to be at the place when you learn, right? When you learn how to create a project from scratch. And always, guys, when we talk about, because I've seen sometimes people, they come to the bootcamp, they start and they say, you know what, I want to do a game application. I want to do this type of application. The purpose of software testing is not to create a software, not to create a game or an application. It is to test the application. So you are going to learn, right, coding because you're going to test that application with your code. You're going to test a game with your code. So everything that you're doing, you're just testing to make sure that you're finding bugs, which are the problems in the software. If you find a problem, you don't need to solve the problem. You don't need to fix the problem. You just need to report it to the team so that the developers, they will be working on that and they will need to fix the problem so that the customers doesn't see the problem. So that's why, as we say, right, testers or QA automation, these people are very important because they are making sure that the customers don't see the problems. They catch the problems before it goes to the customers. So, right, what do we offer? So I'm going to go over these things quickly. So first of all, you're going to have a couple of projects, real projects, which are going to simulate the real environment that are in the work, right? So you're going to have a group project, an individual project, and also a manual project, right? So 3 big projects. And in the project, you're going to be learning how you're collaborating with other people. So for example, as I said, you are writing your code, but of course, how this code is shared with others. If somebody's making an update, how you get those updates. So all these things will be, right, taught during the bootcamp. We're teaching all the methods, all the strategies, all the tools that are, right, currently, right, in trend, right? But of course, some of the companies are using other tools. You don't need to lie, guys. When you go there, you say, I know these tools. You can ask me questions about it. If they ask you a tool that you didn't learn, you can say, I don't know that tool, but I can quickly learn it. So that is right. That is normal in this industry. So all the classes, guys, will be online. So you're going to watch from home. You don't need to come anywhere. Our bootcamp is 100% online. As of right now, guys, what we're doing our info session where we are explaining everything. You're watching us from home or wherever you are. And at the end of this info session, we're going to record this one and we're going to share it with you. The same thing with the classes. Every class, guys, we're going to do the class online. Everybody will be able to join live. And then at the end, right, everything will be recorded and will be shared with the students. So they might want to rewatch it again. Or maybe somebody was not able to watch the class live. They can watch it later. So every material, every video, everything will be shared with the students. So we also have our mentorship program, which we're going to create groups, or let's say we call them teams of 10 students, and each of them will have their mentor. A mentor is one of our experienced alumni from previous batches, which has been working like for 3-5 years in the industry right now. They will share their experience with the students. They will tell them how the things are done, right? So those are extra besides the classes, okay? Those are, as I said, experienced people, right, which have been working as a QA testers for years right now. And also, we are going to prepare you for the interviews. So at the end of the bootcamp, guys, when everything is over, we're going to do a mock interview, one-on-one with you, right? One of our mentors, one of our instructors, they will do an interview with you so that we are going to simulate real interviews so that you are prepared for them before you go to the real interviews. And of course, we're going to prepare you for the market, right? As I said, how to prepare your resume, how to apply, how to create your LinkedIn profile and stuff like that, so that you are ready to apply for the jobs and you will be able to, right? You'll be able to, let's say, land a job. So a lot, right? We have a lot of alumni that are working in different companies. There are recruiters that, right? We're going to help you with how, as I said, how to communicate with recruiters, how to ask real questions. When questions are asked to you, how to answer the questions that are asked from them. So all these things will be taught to you during this soft skill class, which is once a week. And at the end, guys, even when the bootcamp is over, right, when you're applying for a job, when you are getting offers, we're going to help you how to maximize your compensation. So sometimes we have students which they get a couple of offers, right? 2-3 offers. One is part-time, one is full-time, one is contract. Which one is better, right? How to, right, let's say, one of them is offering to you $50 per hour. One of them is offering to you $90K, let's say, right? So which one is better? This one is better because that is how we calculated the yearly salary, or maybe this one is better. So we have our job placement team, which will help you with that part, okay? So this is the schedule, guys. This is very important because, right, because these are the, let's say, mandatory classes which you need to join live, to watch them. If you would not join live, you can definitely watch the recording, but these are very important. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 days a week from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So 3 hours on Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Thursday, which makes 9 hours during the weekdays. Also on Saturdays and Sundays, we have 4 hours on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 4 hours on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's 8 hours on the weekend. So it's a total of 17 hours. And I said, on top of this one, we're going to give you homework. And then, right, we are going to give you projects when time comes, when you learn the tools, and then you're going to do the projects. But make sure, guys, that these hours are Eastern time. Okay, so it is New York or New Jersey time. So if you are in a different time zone, please make sure that you calculate your time, because the class will be in a different time. So if you are in, let's say, in Chicago, which is a 1 hour difference, the hours will be 6 to 9, and then during the weekend it's 10 to 2. Okay, so that's very important, so that you'll be able to join the classes. And by the way, guys, this schedule is prepared in such a way so that you can still continue with your work, because you need to provide food for your family if you're married, have kids, or whatever. So you can still work and you can do the bootcamp. Of course, if you can reduce your working hour and spend more time with the bootcamp, it will be easier for you, and it will you'll have, let's say, you'll be more successful, maybe easier for you to find a job. But of course, even if you continue your normal schedule and join the classes, you will be able to find the job. So the times of the classes are Eastern time, as I said, right? So which means New Jersey and New York, and of course Florida and some of the states. So I don't know all the states are in Eastern time. So if you are in a different time zone, then those hours will be different. Okay. So if you tell me your state, maybe I can tell you what will be the hours. So Colorado, I think, is mountain time, so it's maybe 1 or 2 hours different, right? So the bootcamp, as I mentioned, right? As I mentioned, the bootcamp will start on April 21st, guys. So the bootcamp will take around, right, 6 months plus a couple of weeks with the projects and stuff. So it will take a little bit more than 6 months. So it will end around November. So guys, please be prepared to, right, to commit your time. Be prepared to watch, right, everything, and to be able to follow everything. I'm also looking at the questions which are taking my concentration, but I'm going to answer to all of your questions, guys. And now when I invite our alumni, and also at the end when we go over your Q&As, okay? So if you cannot watch the classes live, everything will be recorded and everything will be shared with you. But what is important, guys, is for you to follow everything. Before the next class, you have to make sure that you watch that recording. So if you say, you know what, let me skip a couple of classes and then I can continue the other ones, then it will not be possible for you guys to find the job. It will not be possible for you to learn the tools. You'll fall behind. So make sure that you dedicate some time for the bootcamp, so that at the end of the 6 months, your life will change. Okay, so let me stop sharing here. Okay, and let me invite our alumni so that you can ask them the questions. Okay, perfect. So if you can share your cameras, please, Reza and Nurdan.
Hello, Elion. Good evening. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing, Reza? How is it?
Great. How are you doing?
Good.
How's everything?
Good.
Great.
So let me also wait for Nurdan to share her camera. So as I said, guys, please, I'm gonna ask Reza and Nurdan to share their experience with us during the bootcamp, after the bootcamp, when they're looking for a job, and now that they're working as software testers. So, and then after that, whatever questions you have for them, I'm gonna pass your questions to them. Okay. So you can start telling us about your experience, Reza, and then we can also get Nurdan.
Yeah. So thanks, Elion, for giving this opportunity again. I was a part of batch 3 and I think we started on January 2022 through July 2022, and right after bootcamp finished, I passed my mock interview and start applying for the jobs. And I've been working for almost 1 year and a half, and I'm happy on where I am now.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, and Nurdan, if you're there, please share your camera so that also we can ask questions to you. So you said that because you started on January 21st, and then sorry, 22nd, and then
Yes.
you were done probably around August, right? So
August,
how
yes.
long did it take for you to find a job after the bootcamp?
I would say 2 months, maybe.
2
2
months.
months. It took 2 months for me to find a job.
Okay, perfect. And then at the end, did you get one offer or maybe multiple offers?
I got one offer, but I got a lot of interviews, but I was able to get one offer only. Yes.
Okay, and
And
then
I was happy to go with that.
how many jobs did you apply?
I apply around 2,000 jobs, I would say.
2,000 jobs for 2 months.
Around 2,000
Okay,
for
so
2
you
months,
did
yes.
a full-time job applying,
Yes,
right?
full-time job applying.
Okay, and then how many interviews did you have in total?
I had I would say around 30 interviews, include first round, second round, and third round of interviews.
Okay, perfect. So by the way, guys, I'm asking the questions that are generally asked in the previous webinars and stuff, but you can ask your questions, whatever you are curious and whatever you need to learn from them, guys. You can use the chat section of Zoom, and I will direct your questions to them. So while I'm waiting for your questions, I'm just asking a couple of questions to him. So, and then you said that you got an offer and then you stopped applying probably, and you have been working there for more than a year?
For more than a year, yes.
Yeah, and is that a full-time job or contract based?
It is a full-time job.
Okay, and is that you're still in the same company?
Yes, I'm still in the same company.
Okay, now I'm going to ask questions that they're asking. So what did you do before starting your career software testing?
I didn't have that like IT experience or anything. I just doing regular job, like minimum wage job, and like doing Uber and stuff.
Okay, so but probably you had a college degree maybe?
Yes, I had a bachelor degree, yes.
But not in computer, but in other.
Not in computer, in mechanical engineering, yes.
Okay, perfect. And then so did you work during the bootcamp?
Yeah, I was doing some work, putting some hours, but I was trying to focus more on bootcamp and spending more time on doing homework and practicing with most of the time with friends rather than myself.
Okay, probably because you were had a flexible schedule with Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what was your first salary, if you can give a range or something like that?
I would say above 6 figure.
Okay, so when we say 6 figures, like that's 100,000 K,
yes,
100,000 or 100K per year, right?
yes.
And then which state are you?
I'm in California.
California, okay.
Yes.
Is that enough for you to sustain?
I mean, it's expensive state, but yeah, if I would be in another state, it would be easier, less taxes.
Okay, perfect. And by the way, are you working online, remotely, or?
I work hybrid, normally 3 or 4 days a week in the office and 1 or 2 days a week at home.
Okay. And then another question is, did you have any certifications before the bootcamp?
Not an IT section. I just had my bachelor's degree.
Okay. And also, by the way, guys, even after the bootcamp, right? So the bootcamp is not about you getting a certificate from there, but you learning all the tools and able to find a job. So of course, there are some certifications that you can get, but those are not necessary for you to find a job. So I just wanted to clarify that thing. And then if you can say about your bachelor degree, your education background, I don't know what field it is.
In mechanical engineering,
Okay.
bachelor degree. Mhm.
Okay, so Dimitra had a power cut, so probably hopefully she's back. So were you working when you were applying for jobs, and how hard was the interviews?
I mean, some interviews was only behavioral questions, but I really had like coding interviews. Some interviews was coding, but not all of them.
Okay, perfect. By the way, Nurdan, are you there? Do you want to share your camera, or are you're not available? Okay, you see, so she's there, but probably I don't know if she cannot hear. It's okay. We can continue with you, Reza. You're answering
Sure.
the questions pretty
Sure.
quickly. And then, how much time did you spend on homeworks on average?
So I think around between 25 to 30 hours was lessons during week. I would try to minimum spend 10 hours, like couple hours for homework and then self-study.
Okay, perfect. And so, by the way, guys, I'm gonna tell you before I forget. So after the webinar, guys, you can ask for free classes. So we have a group. We have let's say some classes which we can share with you, and you have an idea what are the homeworks, what are the classes, even before the bootcamp, and also some sample classes, right? So make sure that you communicate and you ask for those classes with our team after the info session. So yes, he said the degree was mechanical engineering. Yes. And is there any coding in mechanical engineering?
I had some coding in my first year of my bachelor degree, but not other, like I learned C#, but that's it, not Java or anything.
So by the way, guys, so different people, they have different backgrounds. So we have most of the students, they don't have anything to do with computer science, right? Or any coding in general. Actually, especially I remember once I had a student in batch 2, I think he was from Albania, and he graduated from computer science, and he said, you know what? I learned Java in college, and I said, okay, it will be easy for you. And then just after a couple of weeks of third week, and then he started saying, you know what? He skipped classes in college, or I don't know what he did, but he said after that one, like everything was new to him, even though he had a computer science background. So, right, so everything that we taught here, we're going to teach them step by step, and you'll be able to learn them. So what about now that you're working as a software tester? How many hours do you work a week?
I work 40 hours a week, but it depends to my task or the job I need to do. It can go maybe 1 or 2 more hours, 41 or 42.
So also it's project based. So if you finish that earlier,
Yes. Nobody said anything. Yeah.
And then also you said that you were working like hybrid, so a couple of days a week you're going to the office.
Yes.
And are you what is it called? Are you contract based or full time?
I'm full time.
So you have full benefits.
Yes.
Everything.
Full benefits and.
Okay, and then
it's
one
great,
more
better than contractor, I would say.
Now Nurdan is back. If she is available, she can definitely share her camera. So what about, can you do your own schedule, Reza, or it's a specific schedule that you're working?
To be honest, Elian, I have a really flexible schedule, but I really do my own schedule. I work based on the Eastern time zone, so I start normally like 6:37 a.m. my local time and goes like until 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay, perfect. By the way, of course, you have to join the meetings. So
of course, yes.
But you definitely have to join some meetings which are one or two
minutes
per day. But after that, you can
accept meetings. I meant accept meetings.
Yes, definitely.
I've read it.
Emra had a online course in Swift programming, and how much would it help? Of course, it will help you a little bit at the beginning, but of course, we're gonna learn everything from scratch. So even as I said, like I had a student who had experience in Java, and if you don't take the bootcamp seriously, if you don't study, the things that we're learning here are more than enough, right? And then people who don't take the bootcamp seriously, even if they have the let's say background, they will not be able to do it. But of course, their background will help them because it will be easier. But of course, if they study. Okay.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And then, so I'm a software engineering student currently and looking to expand my knowledge. Is it possible to take the bootcamp on weekends? No, the bootcamp schedule is whatever schedule we told you. You can definitely watch them whenever they want, but you cannot only watch them on weekends. Okay. So of course, like if you know the tools and everything, that's something that you can talk in details, but normally you have to follow our flow. It's not a self-paced bootcamp, but it's a bootcamp with a group. How does Neotech help you with interviews? So if you can tell your experience, Reza.
I got a lot of help when we were doing mock interview. And then after that, they help you on resume, and they have a lot of SDLC classes. They prepare you 3 months prior to bootcamp finish, and you guys are really helpful. You guys were really helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. And since you said good words, we're going to help you again in the future if you need us.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course, guys, we help the students even in the future. So even after they find a job, they definitely, sometimes they want to find another job and stuff like that. So they definitely come back to us. So, and then another good question is, what is your position right now? What is your title? And is there place for growth?
Of course, in this field, always there is a place for growth, and my position is QA lead currently. I'm leading offshore team.
So what do you think in the future? Are there other positions there that you can, I don't know, change and stuff?
I mean, if I want to go like learn a little about software skills, of course I can grow and go to software development side, because this bootcamp kind of teach you about how in Java, especially how you can write the code, and a lot of good way to grow to your career after learning some tools and technology, I would say, in this field.
Okay, perfect. So, and again, right, IT is very broad, guys. So after you learn software, it's just the first step. After you work there for a couple of years, definitely you can just with small boot camps or small, let's say, Udemy courses, you can learn other skills and you can jump into even
YouTube, yes.
Alternative, yeah, different alternative careers. So what was the project? What kind of project did you do during the class? And is that similar to the project you're doing now at work?
Like very similar. Thanks to Ahmed and Ihsan, we had 2 projects. One of them was manual testing project, and the other one was automation testing project, and was really close to what we are doing now at our work. It was really helpful.
And
your project, it's very important.
Yeah, by the way, guys, we teach the students step by step how to build a framework, which is a project, right? Step by step.
Yes.
And that framework is similar to all of the project that you're going to test. And then you talked about the role that you were able to land. So if they asked you in the interviews, why did you change your domain? So, or why did you switch to IT? So what is the answer that you gave to them? That's another question here. What was the reason that you wanted to become a software tester, let's say? Did they ask you this question or not? And if yes, what did you answer?
No, they don't ask that much this question, but I would say I really like this field. That's why I really want to change the career, I would say, in interview, if they ask you.
Yeah. And then another question is, what are the daily activities of the software tester? And in short, of course, because there are a lot of things, but in short, what do you do?
A lot of things. You just like start your morning with your like checking emails, your Jira tickets, your daily tasks. Check your Slack. It's very important to see the messages if they tag you, especially. And then start running the scripts, see the test results of your smoke testing if you did during like yesterday, the day before. So this type of stuff.
Do you have a stand-up meeting every day?
We have stand-up meeting. Yes, we have stand-up meeting. We do all the like all the ceremonies,
Perfect. Is your
agile methodology ceremonies.
is your sprint 1 week or 2 weeks?
We have it's actually 4 weeks.
4 week sprint? Oh,
4 week
wow.
sprint.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually 4 weeks.
So of course, guys, we're going to talk about the fee of the bootcamp after we're done with our alumni, and then we're going to go a couple of more slides. So yes, we talked about the role. So are you a QA lead or a senior QA, or what is? I didn't hear.
I would say QA lead or senior QA, that I'm leading the offshore team. Yes.
Or you're leading the offshore team?
Yes.
So there's no place to grow. So now you're a QA lead now.
I'm the
Maybe
QA
just jump
lead.
to other.
Yes.
Okay, so of course, everybody, right? They have to have their LinkedIn profile and everything. So we don't want you to ghost him by sending messaging on LinkedIn. So please don't try to find him and to ask questions him on LinkedIn, guys. So that's not a good thing to do. So how long? Okay, these questions are for us. So you can talk about your experience, Reza. So after the bootcamp, right? You were able to access the materials, the videos, even after the bootcamp.
Absolutely.
And then we, as we said, if we're able to find a job in 2 months, but there are other people who were able to find a job in more time. So still we support them. Nurdan, thank you for joining. You're muted. How are you? Can you hear me, Nurdan?
Yes, I can hear you right now. Hi, I'm sorry about I'm late.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It's okay. It's okay. So again,
Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you again. How are you doing?
yeah, good to see you too. So we asked some questions to Reza. So I mean, they're gonna ask some other questions to you. So first of all, when did you do the bootcamp, and then how long did it take for you to find the job, and for how long have you been working right now?
Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Nurdan. I was a student in Neotech Academy 2 years ago. I have been working as a QA engineer for one and a half year. I was actually I was retired from bank from my country, and then I moved to US from Turkey. I come across Neotech Academy on internet yeah and then
It's okay. It's better if I ask you questions. It will be easier for you. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. So how long did it take for you to find a job after the bootcamp?
After bootcamp.
After the bootcamp was over, how long?
In 3 months. My interview process took 3 months. Yeah, I got an offer after 3 months.
How many jobs did you apply?
I have applied at least 500.
500? Oh, you're less than Reza. He applied 2,000 jobs. That's why it took 3 months for you.
Yeah, I was following your instructions. I was starting to applying to job in the early morning. Yeah, every day.
Perfect. And so are you still at the same company, or did you, I don't know, switch?
Yeah, I've been working at same company 1.5 years. My company is a software based multimedia recording system. They sell recording system.
Perfect. And you have been working as remotely or on site?
On site. I'm working fully on site.
Site, good. And if you can say, what is the salary? Is it around 100K or around that one?
Yeah, around 100K.
Okay, okay. And then we have a question here. What is a sprint? So these are technical terms, guys. It's a sprint is, let's say, or 1 week or 2 weeks. So you're getting the jobs, and during that sprint, you are trying to do those tasks that are assigned to you. So that's a cycle, right? And we're going to talk about this terminology during our boot camp. So just since one of you had a question, that's why I asked. And then, so now a question to, I don't know, like these are questions. So if you don't want to share, guys, it's okay. But they're asking about how old are you? I don't know if you want to share that one, Reza, or give a range if you don't want to give the exact.
Yeah, I'm about 50.
50. What about you, Reza?
I'm 30 years old.
30. You look 50. I'm just kidding.
Good one.
And are you married, Reza? Do you have kids?
No, I'm not married. I'm single.
Okay. What about you, Nerdan?
Yeah, I'm married. I have a son. He is 13. He goes to middle school.
So probably they're trying to ask, if you have kids and you have a family, is it possible for you to do the boot camp? That is probably the question.
Yeah, if you have kids, you need take care of them. It is hard.
Yeah, it's difficult,
Yeah.
but your spouse can help you, right? As I always say in the boot camp,
Yeah.
right, during the classes, that tell your husband to help you with the kids and to cook and to do everything.
Yeah, he helped me when I studying lessons. He helped me.
Yeah, perfect. So of course, if you are single and you don't have other obligations, it will be easier, right? We already know that, but even with kids and families, still it's possible to do it. And of course, you have to make sure that you discipline your kids so that they behave during the boot camp.
Yeah, it's necessary to study hard during the boot camp.
So somebody is asking, Reza, is it real 2,000 applications? Did you really apply 2,000 jobs?
I really applied 2,000 jobs. I was dedicating every day 4 hours or 5 hours just applying.
So by the way, guys, when we say 2,000 applications, don't forget, because some of the applications are easy just by one click.
Easy to apply, yes.
Those are easy apply. So
I include
yeah,
everything, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to learn also about those things, but there are some applications which are more important, where you apply and you put a lot of things, you fill the forms, but also there are some, especially in LinkedIn, you just by one click, you're applying to the jobs. And of course, you can apply tens of jobs in like just, I don't know, half an hour. So you are a childcare director making 100K. We're very happy for you. So if you're happy with your career, just continue with your career. Not a problem. So which state are you, Murdan?
I'm living in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Okay.
I replaced after I got offered.
Also, you moved?
Yeah, I have lived in Florida when I continued to boot camp. After finished boot camp, I got an offer. They sorry, they wanted to me replaced me. Yeah.
Did they pay for your relocation or didn't?
No, they didn't.
They did not, because some companies they do. And I'm sorry, but it's very cold in New Hampshire. I know it's very cold there, right?
My life has totally changed after boot camp.
Oh, good. That's good for you. Okay, so what about you, Nurdan? How many hours did you work per week?
During the boot camp?
No, now that you're working.
40 hours in a week.
So
8 hours.
8 to 5 schedule?
Yes, 8 to 5. 8:30 to 5.
8:30 to 5, yes. And is it flexible if you want to, I don't know, do something tomorrow or later? Is it okay, or you have to do during that specific time?
Yeah, we are flexible.
Okay. And what about during the boot camp? Was it difficult for you? Of course, if your English is not very good, like very high level, it will be, I mean, I can tell you because I remember you during the boot camp, it will be more difficult. So you'll spend a little bit more time, but of course, right, still, if you continue, if you persist, definitely you'll be able to do it. And how many hours did you spend per week, if you can tell us, Nurdan? During the bootcamp, how many hours did you spend per week?
At least I have studied 5 hours in a day.
5 hours a
Every-
day?
Yeah.
Okay, probably you need to watch the videos 2 times and go back.
Yeah. I usually rewatched all classes, all videos again, and before my homework. Yeah, it was helpful to do my homework. I didn't skip any homework, any classes. Actually, I rewatched all classes.
So there's a question they're asking how difficult it was, and we talked about the difficulty, of course, depending on your schedule and on your language skills and a lot of things. But during the class, we have the teacher which is explaining the course, and during that time, we also have the assistant. Like we have 2 assistants right now, which are assisting with technical problems during the class, and also outside of the classes, guys, we have our assistants, which I mean, with time we have, let's say, expanded our staff, and as of right now, during 24 hours during the day, we have our assistants which will help you if you have any technical problems. So I don't know who was the assistant during your time, Nurdan, if you can remember the name. Was it Clevis?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have Clevis, we have Taulant, we have Saad, we have Mike and David. So we have a lot of assistants during the classes and also outside of the classes, guys, because with the number of the students.
You were really helpful too, Elion, outside of classes.
Yeah, of course. But now that we have a lot of assistants, right? So we help you during the classes, of course, and outside of the classes. Yes, definitely. During that time, we didn't have too many assistants, Reza. That's why I was also helping you. But now there are the other assistants. So when you apply, is it according where you live? As Nurdan said, of course, you can apply everywhere. And if you find a job outside of your place, you might need to relocate. Or if it's a remote job, you can stay where you are. So the more places you apply, and if you're open to relocate, it will be like more opportunities to you. A question to Reza. What do you think about AI impact? We always get this question. So do you think that we're going to have, is our job secure, or will AI take over?
There will be always QA to test, right? So even with AI, there will be always QA to test.
We're going to also test AI, right?
Right. So
yes. So by the way, another question was about Mac or Windows. Guys, you can have any operating system, Mac, Windows. Some of the teachers, they are teaching the class with Mac, some of them with Windows. So whatever operating system you have, it is good, and you'll be able to join the class. So before I let you go, guys, if you have any final thing to share with them, Reza, what do you suggest to the students, or let's say prospect students, if you have any suggestion for them?
If you start the bootcamp, just make sure to do your homeworks, have a group of friends to study. It's very important. It will be some parts that you will not understand during class. Rewatch the classes. It will be really helpful. And self-study is the key.
Perfect. Thank you. And anything from you, Nurdan, with your experience?
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Reza. If they follow all instructions, it does pay off. They shouldn't skip the classes. Don't skip homework, and don't skip group projects and everything.
Thank you for coming and for joining. And Ahmet will take over from here. Thank you very much, Reza, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, Ahmet.
Thank you guys for joining. It was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Happy to see you.
Bye.
So let me continue. I'm going to be sharing my screen. In the meantime, my name is Ahmet. I'm one of the instructors here at Neotech Academy, and I'm also actively working as a QA engineer, software tester, and I would like to, talk to you about the process of you learning and what happens afterwards, right? That's really important because once again, this is a career change program. This is something that you do to jump into IT. And so how you will learn, obviously we talked about it, live classes, we will have individual projects, we will have group projects, office hours, homework and tasks, some coding challenges, review classes. There are going to be quizzes, mentor sessions, and a final assessment, which we call it a mock interview. But again, most important thing for us, for you to find a job in IT, high-paying IT job, just like Reza and Nurdan, you also can be eligible to be hired as a software tester. So obviously, we will be helping you with that too. First of all, you will go through mock interviews. During that mock interviews, it's just going to be like a real interview, but you know, you will be safe and you can just make as many mistakes as possible and you will get a great feedback. We will help you to build your resume. We will teach you how to apply for jobs, how many jobs is the normal number of jobs, when to apply, and everything. We will give you an extensive knowledge on the market, and also we will enhance your soft skills. This is really important. Some of you might be already coming from the corporate background, so you might not have any problem with that. But if you are not in the corporate world, you might be missing some stuff, and we will be there to help you. And obviously, this is a learning process, and we will give you the time throughout the program and even after the program. We have a one-on-one mentoring, so every one of you is going to be assigned to a mentor. So whenever you have a question, you have someone to reach out to on top of the instructors and the teaching assistants that we have. And you will be having access to our alumni network. So I'm sure you guys already have lots of questions for Nurdan, for Reza. With our alumni network, you will be directly connecting to them and ask about, you know, like a person who's a test lead right now, about their experience, what to do, and like how to proceed with stuff like that. And of course, throughout the program, which is like at the end of the program, my favorite thing is the salary negotiation, which I'll show you a couple offer letters and how it differs, and we will be helping you with that too. So this is how it goes. By the way, if you guys are asking questions, I'm going to be here to answer them at the end of the slide. So at the end of the presentation. So this is our average, right? This goes up, goes down, doesn't matter. This is the most likely average, what we call it 6 figures, right? So we are confident on this number, and you have no reason whatsoever not to get the same amount of salary. Obviously, depending on where you are located, it might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit less, but at the end of the day, this career allows you to increase get a salary increase in the short term. So next one, offer letters. What does the job market looking like right now, right? You might be asking these questions, just like AI questions. I'm sure you are also like wondering how it's going to look. So the best way to understand that is to check out our offer letters. So I'm going to switch my screen here. Hope you are able to see it. So this is an offer letter that was recently given to our students. The start date is going to be the next week. And, this is the annual salary, $100,000. And as you can see, this is an exempt role. The salary is going to be paid bi-weekly. There's a $10,000 relocation fee. So this is overall a good offer. And obviously, we were there to help this student of ours to get the best out of this deal, because that's also important. This is another one that was $120,000. Again, there were some differences, different title. This is another one. Oh, you can see, this is what I mean. So $55 per hour. So this means this is more like a contract job. The others are like a full-time jobs. Does that mean a bad thing? No. We will teach you, again, how to get the best deal out of everything. So best number from the contract job, what are the benefits that you will be eligible for, and so on. So this is why it's important. We have $90,000. This is how it's going to look. This is another hourly rate. And, once you're there, you will have, this is one of the far ends, $175,000. Obviously, this was a New York role, so the location changes the salary as well. But overall, this is our average. All right. So these are all the companies that, our alumni is actively working on. There are like so many more. And then this is the thing. I know you, coming from outside, and you might be thinking like, okay, wow, I want to work for a company that is on the Fortune 500. That's a great deal. It's nice to talk about it. But is it only those companies need software testers? No, there are lots of companies here needing to have a software tester. And as of now, you already made the first step, and there's no reason for you to not to actually do it yourself. So I'm just going to give the microphone back to Eric. He's going to continue with the really important details. Then I'll be here for the questions. So I'll answer your questions related to placement, related to job, anything that you wanted to ask will be here.
All right, thanks, Ahmet. Folks, let me ask you this question. How many of you know someone who got a degree and they aren't even working in that field? Anybody know someone like that? I mean, I have family like that. I have 2 members of my family who have a degree in a field and they never got a job. They never got a career in the field that they study, spending all that money. Well, take a look at this. Check out the average cost of college tuition these days. A lot of you already know this. And when you throw in all the extras, such as room, board, supplies, other expenses, you're looking at, on average, over $36,000 a year. That's crazy, isn't it? And some of you probably know this, that private universities, they can be 50, 60, 70 plus $1,000 a year. So think about that. And I know you can get a scholarship, you can get grants, and things of that nature. But let's say you didn't. Let's say you didn't really get a scholarship, or maybe you didn't really get that much in the form of grants. When it's all said and done, you spent like $200,000. Do they even help you with job? I mean, and that's just, over the course of 4 years, $200,000. Do they even help you with job placement? You might not even get a job afterwards. And a lot of people are seeking employment in their field. They can't find a job after all that money spent. And so now they're working retail, or they're driving Uber, or whatever the case may be. They wind up taking jobs that they're overqualified for just to make ends meet. Because if you think about it, I'll just throw out some random examples. University of Michigan, Georgetown, Yale, they're not incentivized to help you find a job. Now, when it comes to boot camps, the average boot camp, as you can see here, is over $13,000, which is unattainable for a lot of people. So here's what we've done to help people get their new career, really their new life started. So we have the tuition broken down into 2 parts, and I want to walk you through exactly how that works, okay? So the first is what we'll call the regular tuition, which is only $4,900. We have an early bird discount, which is $200 off. And that deadline is tonight, just so you know. So that April 1st, that's today, tonight, to take advantage of that. We also have a webinar only discount for another $50 off. And that code, write down that code, guys. So you should have written down, April 21st, that's our next boot camp date that it's starting. And then write down this code for tonight only, April 1st. That gives you an extra $50 off. So your tuition then comes out to $46.50, which is then broken up into 7 monthly installments of $665 per month. Not the whole thing up front, $665 per month for 7 months. Now, keep in mind, this whole process is risk-free, because we're going to be taking the risk. And I'll tell you how that works in just a second, okay? It's in our best interest to not just train you, but to actually help you find a job after the boot camp, as Ahmet was just talking about a moment ago. So rather than you investing a larger amount up front, like most boot camps, we offer a small tuition paid over time, and then the balance of your tuition is paid by a placement fee. So we would love if everyone on this webinar right now became one of our students and ultimately a graduate, but a boot camp could be cost prohibitive for really a lot of folks. So to help you out with the cost of the tuition, we came up with a very creative way to make it attainable for most people. So instead of being responsible for the entire tuition up front, we partner up with you. You pay a portion of the tuition, and then we help you find a job after graduation, and then pay a one-time placement fee of 85% of only your first month's salary, not the entire year. 85% of your first month's salary, and even that is split up over 4 months. So again, rather than paying your entire boot camp investment up front, we're partnering up with you. So now we're on the same side of the table. Rather than being on the opposite side of the table, now we're on the same side of the table because we're actually going to be helping you potentially find that first IT job. So again, would you agree that it's in our best interest to not just train you, but help you find a job as well? And of course, because we're incentivized to get you hired as quickly as possible for the job that's most appropriate for you. Now, you might be eligible for additional discounts with your referral's name. Now, that must be mentioned in the application form, and we'll walk you through how that works, the application, in just a moment. So the tuition keeps coming down because we also offer group discounts. So if you sign up with a group of 2, now this has to be somebody that you know, a family member, friend, each student gets an extra $150 off. If it's a group of 3, it winds up being an extra $200 off for each person. If it's a group of 4 or more, contact us and we'll let you know what we can do for you. Now, why do we do this? Why do we offer group discounts? Because it's really to your benefit. You can encourage each other, you can motivate each other, maybe help each other with homework, solve problems, refer each other to job opportunities. It's kind of like going to the gym with your buddy. Now, here's a big question. What if I change my mind later? Well, keep in mind, there's no deposit, there's no application fee. You pay nothing until the boot camp actually kicks off. You can cancel for free anytime until the boot camp starts on April 21st. And on top of that, we've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's 100% refund if you decide to leave anytime up until May 21st. So guys, you can't go wrong. Money-back guarantee in writing, 100% refund if you decide to leave for anytime until May 21st. Again, it's risk-free for you. So we make it really easy to get a hold of us. You can schedule a call by going to neotech.live/call. You can also go to neotechacademy.com/apply. Let me just drag that over here real quickly. You should be able to see that on the screen now. It's real straightforward, guys. You see the address up here. You put in your name. You filled out things like this a million times, right? You put in your email address, your phone number. If you're outside the US, put your country code, select your country. How'd you hear about us? Now, this is where we really appreciate it if you let us know. It helps us out. How you heard about us. If it was social media, whatever the case may be. Now, here's where you have to put that reference name or discount code right in here, and then any additional notes. All right, guys, that'll take you all of maybe a minute and a half at the most to do that, okay? Not going to take any time at all. Don't pass up the opportunity. Secure your spot now. We encourage you to schedule a call. Now, due to a high call volume, and by the way, that is our preferred method that we'd like for you to do. Schedule a call with us. We're working on opening up some more slots. If a slot isn't available tomorrow or very soon, don't worry, you'll still get the discounts that we talked about today. So it's not so much to get all the extra discounts that I mentioned to you, the promo codes and things like that. It's not so much when the call actually takes place, but it's based on when you schedule the call. So as long as you schedule it tonight, schedule that call, you'll be eligible for all the other promo codes, discounts that I have mentioned to you. So the boot camp really addresses the concerns that most people have when it comes to a career in IT. Now, let's run through a few of these, okay? In the interest of time, I won't go through every single one of them, but let's just run through a few of them, okay? So why join Neotech compared to teaching yourself or, going to university or, taking online courses? Well, if you're self-taught, how much time will it take you to learn all the things that we can teach you in 6 months? That's a question mark. Now, I always like to joke. I have a good buddy who he's been telling me for 20 years he's going to read War and Peace. I think he's still on chapter 1, maybe the 3rd page. By nature, people seem to have a tendency to procrastinate. University, hey guys, there's nothing wrong with having a degree. It can take you 4 years. That's a lot of time, not just a lot of money, but a lot of time on top of that. And we all know time is almost, a lot of people give an equivalency, you know, between time and money. Online courses are self-paced. Again, who knows how long you're really going to take to finish it. Again, we're teaching you in 6 months what would take most people years to learn. Now, self-taught, you're learning, of course, by yourself. University is not very interactive. Online courses are not supervised. With us, it's hands-on, it's live, real teachers. You know, someone like Elion, Ahmet, they're actually doing this in the real world and teaching you at the same time. Self-taught, well, you're not an industry expert trainer yet. University, maybe, maybe not. I remember I had professors at university who, you know, like business class, they had never owned a business. So you may or may not get someone who's truly qualified. Online course, no. What with us though, industry expert trainers. Career services, we offer that. The learning content is fluid, so we keep up with changes in the marketplace. If you're doing it yourself, hey, it's up to you to figure things out. University is very theoretical. Online courses, well, they may or may not be market driven. How old is that course that you're signing up for? You know, some online course that you're doing self-paced. So we have a community to help out. We offer one-on-one mentorship, nearly 24/7 tech support, things that you're not going to get in a university setting, you're not going to get if you're self-taught or if you are doing an online course. So guys, we have hundreds of graduates out there in the IT workforce. You heard from a couple of them earlier. Our program is tested, it's proven. You learn from people, again, who have actually done it, not just discussing things in theory, and that's really huge. All right, folks, we're gonna get to all your questions. I'm gonna bring back our panelists, Elion and Ahmet, to help with that. So just fire away with whatever questions that you have, and we will get them answered for you. Best of luck, guys, in your new career also.
Let me share my screen, guys, and I'll start with one of the questions that was about the payment. So let us suppose that you are, let's say, getting the discount, the $200 discount, and the webinar discount for tonight. So it will be from 4,900 to 4,650, which is the tuition for the 6 months bootcamp, and it will be paid in 7 installments. So during the bootcamp, you'll pay this one by paying around 665 per month. And after the bootcamp, then we are asking for 85% of your first month's salary. So if you're making, let's say, 100,000 a year, which makes 8,000 per month. So 85% of that 8,000, which will be around $6,000-7,000. And of course, we're going to do the exact calculation. So this one, right? And this one also will be paid in installments, meaning, right? So even after you find you find the job, we're gonna wait for a month until you settle down, everything is okay, and then we're gonna ask you for the 85% of your first month salary, and we're gonna pay that one also with installments, so that we don't get the first month and then you don't have anything for your family. So that is about the price. I saw that there was a question about the pricing. So one of the things that I want you to make sure, so why are we splitting this one in 2 parts, guys? It is because we want to, right? We want to take the risk with you. So one of the things is also for us to push you out after the bootcamp. So when the bootcamp is over, we want you to push you until you find the job, so that also we take the risk. If you don't find the job, of course, you don't have to pay that part. But on the other hand, of course, we want to push you to make sure that you're applying for the jobs, so that we also get our part, right? So that is the thing. So I want to be honest with that. And another thing, guys, is that, of course, if you have a group, right? If you have another friend, so you can have other discounts. So make sure that, let's say you form a group of 2 or 3 people, it will help you with a discount. That's one of the things that will help you with. Another thing is also, when you are a group of 2 or 3 people, you will push each other, right? So if somebody falls behind, you will help your friend, and you're gonna be right together. Like when you go to a gym, you want somebody to push you, otherwise you'll be on your own. So that is another thing. Another thing that I want you to keep in mind, guys, is that you don't have to pay anything until April 21st. But of course, it's good for you to give a call, to make the application to sign the contract before the April 21st as of like to make the application today so that you get those discounts. Until April 21st, guys, you don't pay anything. Even if you sign the contract today, there are a lot of people who have signed the contract last month, so they're not paying anything. The first payment, the first installment will be taken on April 21st. You have until May 21st. So there is 1 month, 30 days. You watch for yourself. You watch the classes. You do the homework and you see if it is not for you, if it's very fast, if it is too much, if you cannot do it, if it is difficult, then you will be refunded 100%, even the first payment. So if you say, you know what, of course, we have our team, our admission team. You're going to write a message, do a call, say, you know what, I cannot continue because it's too much for me. And then, of course, you're going to be refunded 100%. Why are we doing this one? Because we want you to see for yourself. There are a lot of people saying, I don't have any background. Can I do it? I am 40 years old. Can I do it? I don't know. I'm not good in math. Can I do it? Definitely, guys, try it on your own. Try it for yourself. If you cannot do it, guys, I know that you like it so much that you're gonna suggest it to other people so that other people will do it. So that is the things about the prices and about the refund and everything. So let me see if other questions. You can go to the questions while I'm talking, Ahmet, and then I'll go to the questions while you're talking.
Of course, yeah. One of the things that was asked about our percentage of graduates finding jobs. So I want to answer that. I would say our average is 60%, 60 plus. But those students who actually completed our program and continues to apply for the jobs, I would say the number is like more than 90% finding a job. So it's all about, like, at the end of the day, we will be here to help you, but you know, you need to keep applying and you will need to put some effort into it too. So it's all about that. And I'm seeing some questions about our LinkedIn profile, and I guess like we being not real. I mean, obviously, I don't know how else we can prove that we're real. But one thing that I can offer is that on our website we have free demo classes. Feel free to go there, you know, share your email, and you will get to see our demo classes within the live session. Of course, that's a recorded version, and you get to see maybe Reza or like Nurdan there too. And you can also go through our YouTube channel and see our alumni. So that will be the way to do it. And I guess like the schedule question comes along again. So maybe we can go back to that one more time.
Two more questions. One is about what if I cancel after May 21st? Of course, we're giving you the time. So start the bootcamp on April 21st. You have 1 month to see it for yourself. And we're going to announce it before May 21st. Say, if you want to continue, you're going to continue with the payments. If you don't want to continue, we're going to refund you. So if you continue, of course, we're going to continue charging you. So that is thing. Of course, you have to pay full price if you continue after May 21st, of course. And another one is, what about I did the application process before the webinar? So of course, if there are other discounts, don't worry, you can talk to our admission team and you can let's say re-get the contract. So don't worry, you can regain those discounts.
Yes, maybe we can quickly go over the schedule one more time.
So I don't know, what does Chris say about the presence on LinkedIn? So there are LinkedIn is their own profile, guys. So everybody has their own profile. We have the LinkedIn of our Neotech. So if you ask any questions there, somebody will answer you. And as Ahmet said, go to our website, ask for the sample classes. We'll answer to you. If you do the application, somebody will answer to you. So yeah, that is, and we are here live. Maybe we're not robots, right? Yes, Ahmet, are there any other things that you wanted to share?
The schedule, can you please go back?
Yeah, I forgot that I'm sharing the screen. Yeah.
Perfect. So this is the schedule. Once again, this is the full schedule. So you're looking at 17 hours of classes per week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's going to be all recorded. So, but like one thing that I can tell you, we have had many students who are not able to attend to classes and they just watch the recordings and they were still able to find a job. So that's, I'm not saying the classes are optional. Live classes are still, like, we are encouraging you to join. However, if your schedule does not fall onto this time frame, that doesn't mean that you cannot do it. You can still do it.
Yeah, and there are questions about the graduates finding a job. So since you are the expert in the that field, so
as I mentioned, like this is the questions that I started from. Again, the 60% of our students who completed, like that's our average success rate, and those students who continuously applied, they were able to find a job. Like more than 90% of it were able to find a job. Why I'm like changing from 60 to 90? Again, 90% means that if you end up quitting applying for jobs for personal reasons or just like give up, that means you won't be able to find a job. But as long as you keep applying, we'll be here with our placement service. There's no time limit, and since again this is a win-win situation for us too, you will be able to still take advantage of our services. So that's how it goes.
yeah, by the way, guys, I've seen a lot of students that they start at the beginning with the bootcamp, and then after some time they just quit for personal reasons, for family reasons, stuff like that. So if you don't finish the bootcamp, if you don't apply for a job, you will not be able to find the job. It's on you. So we're telling this one upfront, guys. So you will be able to learn the skills. You will be able to apply the jobs. You will be able to land the job. But of course, you have to continue. You have to commit your time, and you have to take it seriously. We cannot change your life until you want to change yourself, your life. But of course, we teach everything needed. And then scheduling a call, of course, there is the answer there. So go to neotech.live/call, and then you'll be able to schedule a call. So let me go to that slide also. So this is, okay. So this is how you can, so go to this website and you'll be able to schedule a call, talk to our admission specialist, and then they will answer all the questions that you have.
Yeah, on a quick note on that, as of now, we're getting heavy calls, like lots of calls, and that's why the schedules might not be available, but we're actively working on opening new slots for you guys. So if you feel like you don't see a schedule that fits, again, your schedule, just send us an email and we'll definitely help you out there. So don't worry about it too.
So another question is, I'm not a fluent speaker, could I do it? So you saw Nurdan, she was able to write, her English is not perfect. She was able to find a job, but of course it's up to you guys. And I'm telling you, if you're not able to communicate, then you're not going to be able to find a job. So don't do the bootcamp if you don't feel comfortable with English. You need to speak English because you'll be able to find the job. You're going to go to the interview. So that is very important. But of course, if you're able to talk and you have an accent, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Yes, as I said, right? So we talked about the payment. So during the bootcamp, you paid in. So this one, during the bootcamp, you paid in 6 installments, the tuition fee, and also the placement fee is in installments, is not right one-time fee. Yes. So are there any questions there? So what is the ratio of people completing the bootcamp? Of course, right? So there, I mean, as Ahmet mentioned some numbers there, but it's not always either a number. So sometimes the students might start the bootcamp and they're not prepared for the 6 months. So it's always up to you. But I would say that maybe, I don't know, 70–80% of the students, they finish the bootcamp and they start looking for the jobs and they're good there. But of course, it depends on because we have done 6 batch until now, and it depends on the batch and depends on the group of the students always.
All right, I'm seeing some questions about the 85% of your first monthly salary. And let's take this question and this could be our last question to answer. So again, it only applies once you find a job, which means you're gonna finish the program and you're gonna get in the job market. You're gonna apply. We're gonna help you with the resume building and everything, and you will land a job. Then once you complete your first month, we will be asking for the 85%. Is there a time limit? No. So it can be anytime. Now, it has to be a related job. So that's one thing. Obviously, if you end up finding a job on your own field, not related to software testing, we're not going to ask you for this because, again, we will be providing a service, and this placement fee is in return for that service. So that's how it is.
Yeah. So there was one more that I wanted to take, and then, is there any break during the 6 months? There are the holidays, but not big breaks, guys. So during the bootcamp, that's what I'm saying. During the 6 months, please schedule your time and make sure that you are committed, because of course there might be 1 day's holiday, like a couple of days, but not long breaks. Because guys, it's in 6 months you're changing your career, it will change your life. So there are no shortcuts to success, guys. So that is what I would say. If you will take it seriously, you'll be able to find a job at the end. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining, and definitely try on your own, ask for sample classes and everything, and hope to see you on April 21st.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.